There we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Winter Haven, Florida, home of the new world headquarters for the More Cheese Less Whiskers podcast. And I'm very excited about it, but I've got my new friend, Ryan Joyce, here with me.
Yeah, sunny Winter Haven, Florida, no more Nashville.
That's exactly right. So I'm excited that we get to do this together. I'm actually excited that we even met. It's just kind of a fun thing. You came into the cafe where I go to N+1 cafe, and I was kind of staring over because you're a dead ringer for my friend Ross O'Loughlin. That's how I kind of showed you. I said, man, you just look so much like Ross. And then we got to know each other a little bit.
Yeah, I love these little chance meetings, and especially Christina and I, my wife, we've had the opportunity to live in so many different places so far. These little things and these little people that you get to meet. I don't know if you've picked up on this with me, but I'm a huge conversationalist.
Yeah, I like that. That's why I thought this would be a great opportunity to kind of spend some time and talk about some of the things we've talked about, because I'm excited that you are a very talented musician. And kind of, I love your work. I've seen your videos on YouTube, and that's kind of a passion thing for you. So maybe kind of set the Ryan Joyce story so far as we know it.
Oh, so start from the beginning?
Yeah, just how'd you get into music and what's your...
So from the beginning, I remember as a kid, my dad he went out and bought me a guitar because I started getting into rock music, AC/DC, all the good 80s stuff. And as I was doing that, I was like, well, I need a band now, right? So I taught my cousin how to play the drums.
Okay.
I picked up a guy from school, so we started a band. And as we started this band, we got a couple of years in, and I started contacting venues, and I'm like, hey, I want to come play your venue, want to do this, want to do that. And a lot of them would be like, well, do you have any videos? Do you have any marketing materials or anything like that? And I'm like, well, no. But and after I got frustrated enough with it, this is actually the beginning of what we're about to go into here in a while. But as I got frustrated with it, I was like, why can't we just do this ourselves? The first version of that was a thing actually called Legacy Fest.
Okay.
And because the band name was Dirty Legacy.
Okay.
So I said, I'm going to do my own little festival. There was an American...
Ozfest, like Ozzy.
Yes.
Ozfest.
So there was a American Legion post down the street from my parents' house. And I said, well, that place looks cool. And it said event rentals. It had a little
there
number.
You go.
So I went in there and I asked them, and they said, it's $500 to rent it out for the night.
Yes.
And I said, well, we could sell tickets to this.
Yes.
We could, and it was a cool little, it was like a concert in a tin can.
Yeah, okay. Perfect.
But it was a lot of fun. And then we went on tour with that band, one tour. And then after that, we all went to college. We all did our own thing and stuff, and kind of that band broke up. And I went to Nashville for school. And while I was there, growing up, it was like rock and country. And as I got there, I started getting into more country music because you're surrounded by it, you're immersed by it there. And I just started writing, and things just started coming out, especially as I started to play more acoustic guitar rather than electric guitar. I was like, well, I'm enjoying this.
Yes.
I found my passion in writing songs.
Songwriting, right.
So as I started writing, I was like, I just have always loved the process that a song goes through from beginning to end, because it can be completely different from the time that you started. And I just went deep into that, and I got frustrated with another part of music while I was in Nashville, which was the songwriting. I guess I would call it a rat race to get signed, a publishing deal, to all these different things, and I didn't like it.
All the gatekeepers.
Yes.
That's what I call them. Yeah, you got to, please, sir, can I play these songs? Nope.
So I wanted to start from scratch.
Yeah.
And a part of me, I reached out to a farm that's up there, an off-road park, the Vaughn Farm. And I said, let's put on an event out at your thing. So we put on a mud bog. I'm starting over from scratch again like I did with the band. I was like, I'm going to take lessons from this and just do it there.
Yes.
And in the process of making that event, I met my partner, Colby, who runs American Owned Apparel. And we just started making collaboration T-shirts together. And finally, we just said, we both have the same vision for where we're going. We should just continue down this path and just make it our own company and go from there. I love it.
That's awesome. And now you've started a podcast with Colby too, right?
Yes. So it is called The Beer Buyers Club.
The Beer Buyers Club. I love it. And that's a perfect tell everybody the name of your signature song.
Yeah. So the first song that I put out on the country platform was The Ones Who Buy the Beer. And And we also put out a music video for it not too long ago. And it's just something that I think a lot of people have resonated with.
The best friends in life are the ones that buy the beer. It's such a great song, a great hook, right? Was that video done at that farm or?
That was that event.
Oh, that event. Okay,
Yep.
great.
And that
so
was,
good.
Yeah, and that was the first time that I had met Colby in person.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we've been conversing here and there in the coming months up to the event. And I just told him, I said, yeah, come out to this event and let's just do some stuff, because I was looking for sponsors for the event. And that's how I got in touch with him and how we started down that.
How long ago was that?
That was in July of 2021.
Okay, wow. So just last year.
It was just recently.
And now this summer, you had the Dock and Rock.
The first annual Dock and Rock in Catawba, North Carolina.
I love that. So that's what I'm kind of excited. It's one of the things I'm excited about talking about is this, because when you described it to me, and I've been an observer of the music business for a while now, because I'm always fascinated by how it all works. And it seems like up until recently, it's always been controlled by 6 guys in the big towers in LA and New York, right? That decide who gets to hear whatever music is on. The whole system was set up that way. You can't get on radio unless you're through this big corporate
and
machine.
You sure really can't.
Yeah. And now, though, we're at the point where the music business, like all art really, has been completely democratized. And you can get directly to the people. You just think about the last couple of years. I've talked about the examples of Russ as an example, the hip hop artist who's now $15 million a year on his own as an independent. Lil Nas X from nothing, recording in his grandmother's closet, having the number 1 song in the history of the Billboard chart. That, and now the Bridgerton music. Did you follow that or hear about that? The TV show Bridgerton? Yeah. Okay. So these young girls, 20s, early 20s, this one girl, she just came on TikTok one day and said, what if Bridgerton was a musical? And then she broke into this song that she had written, inspired by one of the scenes in the thing, and it just took off. And she partnered with another girl, and they, over the next several months, built out 15 songs, all in that theme, created this Bridgerton, the musical, and recorded an album and won a Grammy. They won a Grammy from TikTok, from nothing to winning a Grammy, just like Lil Nas X going from his grandmother's closet to being the number 1 song in the history of the Billboard charts. They've taken out the roadblocks. There's no friction between and the audience.
I think what we're seeing is, in what you're going to see over the next few years and 10 years and on, these record labels, they like to project this idea that they have the power.
Right.
But the people, only have the power over the people who give them the power.
Because that's the way it's always been. They're looking for outside validation or permission. You got to get signed. But it's like, you don't need, for what now? And you've got access to Spotify just like everybody.
And a lot of people, I say this thing all the time, and I try to tell people not to take this the wrong way, but artists have become lazy. They don't want to do things themselves in a company who's going to basically procure them for them.
Right.
Okay? Why not take that stuff on? Why not look at it as a business and say, okay, and especially like it helps with me having a partner, having someone that I'm going down this with for sure. And obviously a good support system with my wife, of course. You've met her. But obviously going down that road, it's going to take a lot of work. There's no doubt. But doesn't it feel a lot more fulfilled to be able to do that stuff? And I know you're the same way as me. If I had nothing to do, I would just had other people doing stuff for me, I would be bored. I would be so bored.
Right. Well, it's don't knock it, though. It's kind of nice having people doing for you stuff, too.
I don't know.
It allows you to think more, just have infrastructure to get your ideas into the world is a pretty good.
I think you need more caffeine.
A pretty good place to be. So now you see, though, that there's, I think about Ryan Leslie, too. I don't know if you know him, hip hop artist or R&B. He kind of forged this path of independent, building his own audience. He's really built a relationship with his fan base, and now he can go on tour and just text all of his fans and say, hey, I'm coming to wherever, and they show up.
Is it like a newsletter that he built up, like a list?
He's got a community. So, by email, by text, he started out by selling releasing his own stuff independently, so that whenever somebody bought his album, now he's got the opportunity to know who they are, because you don't know otherwise. If you're with a label, they're selling, but you don't have a relationship with a one-to-one relationship with the audience. And so that's where something like we've seen started with American Idol in the 2001 or whenever American Idol started, of this idea of when people grow up with you or grow, why American Idol has been such a success, I believe, is that you come out the other end. People watch the evolution. They get to know and like the artist based on them doing cover songs of songs that they already know and like. So they get to know them as an artist, that they like them. Then at the end of the competition, now they come out with their original stuff and they're already fans. And it's such a...
Well, think about it this way. How many times have you seen people online or on TV? You see them on the screen, and when you see them in person, you feel like you already know them.
Right. That's exactly right. And that's these kind of intimate social media interactions, like on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube videos, where you kind of do get to see behind the scenes, or you get to see the evolution of stuff. It's the normal thing now. I mean, you start to see that Bridgerton built its audience on the way up. And
People
it's
feel
happening.
Like they have a stake.
That's what they feel like. That's exactly it. Is they've got a stake. You're going right to the stakeholders without a middleman, because there's no need for it anymore, right? Everything, you can get everything to distribute the music, and then you still ultimately got to go out and build the audience anyway. So why not just set up all of those things, bet on yourself in that way?
I had a cool experience kind of that connects to this at Dock and Rock. I have this song, and it's called Goodbye, and it's completely acoustic. And it was one of those things where I said, throw everything out the window. Let's just sit in a dark room, and I'm going to record this song, and it's going to be completely raw. That's what I like. And when I did it, I was thinking about it. There's a line in the song about a Camaro, which was my silver Camaro. Growing up, I had a 1980 silver Camaro. That was my daily driver as a teenager.
Right.
This guy came up to me afterwards, and he's like, hey, I know you don't really know me, but I was friends with your brother, which was older than me. And he said, I remember you driving around in that Camaro, like connected with that song because I felt that moment in that song. And that means more to me than anything else.
Right.
That I could convey that message in that way.
Yes. See that, and that's when you've got a one-to-one connection with the audience. And now at least you had to meet him at Dock and Rock, right? Or when he said that. So, but imagine if you had that kind of daily interaction and feedback with people through TikTok or through the social media. I sent you a song the other day that this girl showed up on my radar, and she wrote a song, All My Ex's Moms Listen to My Songs. And it's such a ridiculously great hook. But she's just, I looked into her a little bit. She's started out in this American songwriting contest. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
The Eurovision one. So she was one of the performers in that. And then this girl, Jax, who was on American Idol, got to the top 5, I think, on American Idol. And she just wrote a song called Victoria's Secret, which, about, it's become an anthem for reshaping the way young girls think about the established body norms that are pushed on them by Victoria's Secret models and other things, that's the idealized body. And she wrote this song that Victoria's Secret is that she was invented by a dude. And she talks about Ron Wexler, the guy behind Victoria's Secret, he created Victoria as this idealized aspirational thing. And so it was really, so now she's gotten the attention of this multi-billion-dollar company, and her voice is everywhere. So I just get so excited when I realize that when you've got a message it's not a shortcut for a mediocre performer, somebody who's doesn't resonate with the audience, but there's so many opportunities to get in front of people. And the good news is that music is a subjective thing, 100%. Yeah. You're not selling music to somebody. You're not convincing somebody to like music. They either feel it resonates or vibes with them, or it doesn't. Yeah. And so it's really just about getting that exposure. And I think the sooner that you can get the audience and gather them around as you're doing. Charlie Puth, great example. Every song he starts out, shows people the whole process. He did that Light Switch.
Charlie Puth is so talented.
He really is. And that's what I'm saying is that it's definitely, music more than ever is becoming a meritocracy for sure. That you're
Zach Bryan.
Cream. Yes. The cream rises to the top if you can get out and get it discovered. So the path to the audience is there. But when this Dock and Rock idea of creating your own kind of events, and I wasn't familiar that you had done the one in Nashville.
Oh, that was actually in North Carolina.
Oh, in North Carolina.
But that one was more beginnings of me figuring out how to put together an event.
I got you.
So that was.
So you're from North Carolina, but you went to school in Nashville. Okay, great. All right. So I just knew that you came here from Nashville, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the connection to North Carolina.
Yes. So that's the hometown connection there.
Yeah. So now going back and creating that Dock and Rock, and it was a success. And now that you've done it opens the door for the next one.
And the next one.
And the next one. And the fact that kind of thing is consumed locally, that concept, wherever there's a lake, wherever there's a body of water with a gathering place that you could do that same kind of thing. You think about here, like Cherry Pocket or something. Yeah. Have you ever been out there?
I have not, but I've had at a ton of gigs. Everybody's been telling me, they said, you need to make it out there and play there.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I need to reach out and go out there.
Or even here in Winter Haven, Harborside, or any of those places. That's kind of, you could really build a franchise around that.
And that's the idea. And I think really what I want to see it grow into is, as I was getting into the country music industry, I think there's a lot of people who you can't take them and put them out with the people that listen to their music. They can't walk up to a bonfire and blend in with everyone a lot of times.
Right.
And I feel like that's a problem, that they build these events and that's their brand, but the brand is only a marketing scheme. It's not actually supposed to be a coming together of people who believe the same things, who are into the same things, and really are part of that.
Yes.
Because that culture has to be ingrained in it, or else you're just selling something to someone. Like you said, it's different. And I always say this, but art isn't an industry, or at least it shouldn't be. You should be looking at it as, this is a way to express myself. This is something that I'm trying to get a message across to someone. And I think a lot of people miss that. They don't spend enough time with their music just one-on-one. A lot of times, whenever we were in Tennessee, we lived at this place that was across the street from the farm. It was quiet. It was just like, I just sat, and Christina was working nights at the time, and I spent a lot of time just sitting and thinking in a quiet house. We didn't even have line internet at this house.
Right.
So I just sat at the table, just spent time with me, some beer, whiskey, whatever, and just sat and just played and just got to know myself, know my music, got to know who I was and who I wanted to be.
And that's exciting. And there's something, I think, that whether you don't, I think, to lose that, to pursue the success of it, or pursue the business of it. I understand that's this desire to protect the artistic integrity of what you're doing, because otherwise then you might start creating something just for the money kind of thing. But I think there's also an opportunity to surround yourself with someone who is that business thinking, because it really is about shaping how that gets out into the world. And I was worried about as a limiting thing of, say, really almost protecting, not wanting it to get out there, which is in a way kind of selfish.
Sure.
And so, but to have it be out and be as successful as it can be, reach all the people. That's all that really means, right? Is that it's.
And we've talked about this extensively, and I think that's a lot of where we got to know each other is because, like I said, me talking in conversation, I'll get deep. And as I'm doing this stuff, I'm like, I don't want it to come across as me selling something.
Right, and I get that. Yeah, that's what I said about
That's so hard.
I think I maybe told you about Scooter Braun and Justin Bieber when Scooter kind of was forming the let's get Justin Bieber out to the world. One of the decisions that he made was to never have Justin look in the camera and say, hey, I'm Justin, here's my new song, I hope you like it. Like, never trying to sell his stuff to someone. It was always from a voyeur perspective of maybe you're not even supposed to be seeing this performance, but you just discovered him performing in this small setting.
Almost like a actual reality show.
Yes.
Almost like you see it happening. And I think that also gives people a stake because they're like, wow, like this person is genuine and humble because I'm seeing them in their natural little habitat here rather than actually something that's staged.
Yeah. And then it feels like then you get two groups of people, then no matter what, you're going to have the core group of people who discover you and ride or die kind of go with you. But then there's going to be people who will maybe abandon when you reach some level of success that would be considered, oh, he's sold out, or now that everybody else knows him, I'm not as interested or whatever. So it's a fine line, but I think you do it, you think about if you're clear on what your values are and what your vision is and what your voice is and what you stand for and what is this whole, what was the name of the podcast again?
The Beer Buyers Club.
The Beer Buyers Club. That is the perfect bucket for everybody who's like in your world, that the people can be in the Beer Buyers Club.
Sure. Yeah.
That you want to be known as the best friends in life are the ones that buy the beer. So I'm that, and I'm in the Beer Buyers Club. That, I think that is a great thing. It's almost like Jimmy Buffett's Parrot Heads and Grateful Dead. I saw Andy had his Grateful Dead t-shirt on today. That whole thing, the Deadheads
with Billy Strings, if you've heard of him. If you've ever heard, you need to look him up.
Is he a country artist or
kind of more guitar player-esque, but a lot of Grateful Dead fans are super into him too. Just because he's a super talented guitar player,
right?
And plays a lot of like I guess I would call it bluegrassy type, just because he's. I mean, you'll just have to look it up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so I think that there's a big difference. It feels like and I don't know what it goes against, like, would it be okay with you if your music was like blown up? And
I would, but my only thing is I always have this resentment towards people who have notoriety, who have fame, acting like people who have fame. Like it becomes cheesy to a point where every time I see, like, I'm looking at these videos, it's the same reactions, the same things every time, the same, just because I think there's few people who can pull it off, be famous, and still seem humble and not staged to me. A lot of them definitely, everybody that's in the Foo Fighters, every time I see videos of them, it seems genuine, humble, like they try.
Right.
And I think there's a switch that goes on. Like, so you actively, before you gain that notoriety, you actively have to try to act like, for lack of a better words, an a-hole, right? Whenever you become famous, you actively have to try to act the opposite. You actively have to try to be humble and try to be normal.
Yeah, so it's an interesting balance, right? But I think a lot of it is how you are, that your core, that you're talking about things that, because what you've observed in other people, that you can have as much success as possible, but still that's a you thing, to stay who you are in that way. I just think, man, there's so much. I think you're a very talented artist. You got a great voice. Great. I think that, and the whole attitude, you're partnering with American Made Apparel. That's a great opportunity to really craft this world. What is the Beer Buyers Club world look like? You're creating this universe, this subculture of of beer buyers. I mean, it's like such a great thing. And ultimately you start to, people like us do things like this. That's kind of the great movement making type of thing, that we go to Dock and Rock every year. And
grassroots
kind of
movement, something that's not it. Because at some point my only vision is that it doesn't become too much of a corporate thing, because there's a lot of movements that have become corporate, one being the outlaw country movement. Nowadays, there's a lot more, but there's also those industry plants that are, they say, well, here's our outlaw guy, and they put him out on radio and they put him out on everything, and they convince people to the bone. People who, again, are out there in these rural places that like to go to bonfires and go and do stuff like that, and they're completely convinced that guy that's on the radio is that guy that they think he is. But, I mean, he's not. When you see these people behind the scenes, are you kidding me? This guy?
I just think that's such an amazing opportunity. Are you familiar or tracking with what's going on with NFTs and the blockchain?
A little bit here and there. I guess I don't know much about it. I wish I was more involved in it.
So basically, here's the thing. Besides all the coins and all the stuff, the underpinning of everything is the blockchain and these smart contracts. NFTs are really, every ticket is going to be an NFT in the future. That's really it. But if you combine this, it seems like a great opportunity for you to really democratize the people, your success being other people's success as well. Like, I think that what's going to happen, instead of you can release an album as an NFT or a song as an NFT and things, you can have a beer buyers club that somebody could buy an NFT, and that entitles to them to some percentage of the sales or the success of you. So it'd be like creating your own financing or your own label kind of thing. Like, a label is signed to give you an advance, and then they make a percentage of all of the things. But imagine if you could, the community, the Beer Buyers Club could own that. Now they're incentivized to help spread the word and to
that's a good idea.
Do all of these things, that you're building this community that people get to show their icon, their NFT of they are an official member of the Beer Buyers Club. You're an official beer buyer. And that could come with access to Dock and Rock and access to pre-releases of your new album and all of those things. And that all can be sold in the future. Could you imagine, like, right now ticket stubs are a thing that's a physical, like if you had a real ticket stub from Woodstock kind of thing.
And how many people frame that stuff and
exactly
keep it up in their house
now
because it's worth something.
If you had, let's say the Beatles come back from Hamburg and they're going and they're doing a show in Liverpool, and there's going to be 200 people there, and that ticket as an NFT, that date, that performance, that thing, there's only 200 people that were at the very first concert. What would that be worth now?
Could you imagine?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You reminded me, your local band, there's a great movie called Killing Bono, and it's about the early days when U2 was starting.
I think I watched it a while ago. I don't remember much of it.
It's such the great thing, because they would build themselves as the second best band in Dublin, and you realize how grassroots things are. If you're going to be the biggest band in the world, you've got to be the biggest band in Dublin first, right? That's really the thing. So your Dock and Rock as the kind of physical gathering place to showcase the people who are coming up from that region, or taking on tour and doing the Dock and Rock summer tour, where you're doing different venues, but people know what Dock and Rock means, like the Oz, like Ozfest. What does that stand for? It's almost like you've got the manifesto. What's the manifesto of the Beer Buyers Club? What is that? What do you stand for? And that's I know you don't have it yet, but thinking that way of establishing who are we and what is this? What does it mean to be
right,
a beer buyer.
Yeah, I think from the very get-go, the thing that me and Colby really want out of this is just to make sure that we stay true to who we are as people. We've went through a couple different things already where we thought we had a partnership with a couple other people and stuff like that, and those people, they just didn't live up to those expectations of the values that we had.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that we really wanted, is that we're going to say, okay, Colby's real into politics and stuff, right? Which we know that's going to come with a lot of caveats, a lot of pushback from people. Like just recently, we had this guy. Colby got into a Twitter spat with this guy, and his reaction was to go and try and spread a rumor that we ripped our tags off that said "Made in China" and put "Made in America" on there. And it's like things like that happen that you got to expect. Obviously, it gets worse as you grow this thing, but it's kind of one of those things that we're going to stay true to who we are as people.
Right.
And that's really the number one thing for us, what we saw as a manifesto from the beginning.
I love it. And so there's that great opportunity to kind of build that audience. And so we had talked, I looked up, I had mentioned to you about Boyce Avenue as a great example. So if people are listening and don't know who Boyce Avenue is on YouTube, they've got 11 billion views of their videos now, and they showed up on my radar years ago when they were just kind of starting to do their model was to take the most popular songs right now that were of the moment that everybody was searching for, and then they would do these kind of stripped down acoustic or very low instrumentation but slower kind of versions of these songs, and it was just right at the peak when you're most interested in a song, but you're starting to get, okay, I've had enough of this one now. And then here comes this slight novelty to it, but really well done. I mean, his voice is amazing. The instrumentation is great. The video quality that they were doing was really good. But I saw this thing he said on the thing that you're doing those cover songs. You and I've talked about the idea it's like being introduced by a good friend, because nobody's looking for new music. Like when you get in the car, the whole thing is you're looking for your song, you're looking for your jam, you're looking for a song that you recognize. Nobody's looking to find something they don't know. And so we're very sort of resistant or slow to bring in new music. Some people, minority, search out new music. I mean,
I'd say I'm in the one that really, I don't really search it out. If it comes to me and it hits me, that's it.
That's what I said about it's 100% subjective. There's nothing that you're going to do to convince somebody to like you as a musical artist. As soon as they hear your voice, as soon as they hear the lyrics, the song, something has to resonate, or they're not interested. You can't convince somebody to like something like that. But this, I forget what the guy's name is, but he was saying in an interview that was part of the strategy, doing these cover songs. The covers is what brings the eyes to the band and brings the eyeballs to what we're doing. And we're like, if you like this, why don't you check out our originals that we wrote? Yeah. And that's a cool thing, right? So he said that YouTube, when they started out, they kind of got to take control of their destiny and started their own label. And one of the major pros of being independent is just having a direct relationship with your fans and just being able to upload content, schedule your content, make the kind of content that you want. Alejandro, that's the guy's name. And so there are millions of fans. There's a built-in audience because they loved the version of You Don't Know You're Beautiful by One Direction, that they slowed it down, did a great acoustic version. And then, so you think about it, that even as a performer, you do live shows and stuff now, but you're singing cover songs live because you don't have a huge catalog of your own songs, and nobody would want to sit and listen to your only original works, right? Even when you go to a legacy band, you go to a concert, there's a balance where it's got to be, you want probably 60% of what you're expecting to hear from them, the hits, and then you slide in the new.
You're trying to gain the trust of the people watching.
That's what it is.
And because if you go out there and you play something that they're like, because if they have a bad taste in their mouth about a certain artist, you play that artist, they're like, oh, well, that's it. You can lose them so quickly.
Yes.
And the vibe of a room, that's one thing that it's taught me so much about doing these gigs with just my acoustic guitar, is learning that vibe of the room and learning how to gain these people's trust in a way that's organic, where I think there's a lot of people out there, like there's certain songs that they know, but they've forgotten about it. It's in their past. Like, I'll give an example. A lot of times I throw this Conway Twitty song in my set list called Slow Hand, and everybody knows the words to it. You can see people who are over the age of 40.
Right.
So they know the words to it, but they're like, wow, I haven't heard this in a while. I can't believe.
Like an old friend.
I can't believe that this guy who's only 25 is out here playing some Conway Twitty, because of course everyone's going to know the Hanks, the Whalens, the Willies.
Yep.
But what if I slip this in here and people are like, oh, wow, that's different. I haven't heard that in a while.
Right. Yes. Or I haven't heard this version of this song that's the most popular song right now. Introducing people to your style. I just look at it, that could be an interesting thing. Like, look at a studio like this. You were to come in and just record live.
Yeah. I was actually talking with him out there because I didn't even know this was back here. And I love the sound stage that they got out there. It's beautiful.
It really is. And imagine, they've got the LED wall.
Yeah.
That's 20 feet by 12 feet. Imagine you could be from the Smoky Mountains. You could be doing, do you know what I mean? You could be anywhere.
Yeah.
But doing that thing where the camera's just you, just the song, no fanfare, no, hey, I'm Ryan Joyce and this is my.
Yeah.
Just imagine you just do the song.
Yeah.
And you put it up and you're going to get exposure built.
Oh, I'm definitely going to be back here.
Okay.
I mean, because like I said, I didn't even know this was back here, and this is huge to have in this area here.
Absolutely. So this is why I came here to do this. I was been doing this podcast for years, but it's all been audio. So I want to start a new season in September here and do video. But I was thinking about converting one of the rooms in my office to a studio to be able to do the audio stuff. And I started going down that path and realizing, okay, so what cameras should I get? What lights, what microphones, what all this stuff. And I've been a big fan of this idea that we talk about called who, not how. That rather than trying to figure out how to do anything, just ask the question, who already has this? And so I come here. And I'd been in the studio before. This building was actually for sale a few years ago, and I was looking at the building, and then the guys bought the building and totally renovated the thing. But this studio, they built out this amazing podcast studio, and I thought for the cost of, I can come in and just buy a 2-hour block that comes, everything is, I walk in here, you saw it, walk in, set up, everything's here. We've got Andy to do all the live mixing of everything. And I walk out of here and then we get the finished edited video. And for the cost of doing a 2-hour block plus the editing of the video, I could do 10 sessions like that, 20 podcasts for less than the cost of one of these cameras.
Yeah.
And you look at the thing and zero time setting it up and taking up the space in my office. And then that's constant loop of the software. And I'd still have to have somebody do all the engineering.
It's about knowing when to outsource to other people. So I got this guy, and I'll actually give him a shout out. His name is Brandon Wiggers in Nashville, who I got in touch with through a drummer that I've used before. Yeah. And let me tell you what, so I just did these past 2 songs. I just put Hold That For You out, and I'm putting a new song, Foundation, out soon. And it's important to me that the people that I'm going to work with and the people that are going to do things like that for me, they understand. And so whenever I called him, especially about this song, Foundation, which has a lot to do with Christina and I's life, and it's super personal to me. And whenever he called me, it felt so good to know that he felt the same thing that I did from that. From the beginning, he had a vision, and he was like, okay, this is what I'm seeing. And I was like, that's exactly what I was trying to go for. Like, he took that idea, and I had it, and I was like, well, we'll see where this goes. Like, I'll talk to him a couple times, see where. So we did a phone call. And we must have talked for 30, 45 minutes, and he just laid out this vision that he had for the songs, and I was like, that's it. Like, he gets it.
Yes. I love it. And that's, so there, and to gather your audience of people that find you like that. I mean, but just think like how in a 2-hour session, having your live stuff in a great acoustics, great stuff. There's different angle, different places that in the whole studio here that you could set up to add some variety kind of thing. But to do 5 or 6 songs in a couple hours, probably to do that. Now you've got 1 or 2 a week, kind of get into that model. I think that's it could be so powerful for you in building that audience.
I think that's actually what I'm going to do. I actually just got an idea in my head.
Tell me.
Oh, you want to hear it?
Yeah, of course. Okay. That's what we're all about, ideas.
So I had this idea, and I'm going to do this for most songs. I do this thing called an iPhone reel, where everything that has to do with that song that I wrote about, for example, The Ones Who Buy the Beer, I put out a little thing. It was my first time doing this. I was like, I'm going to create a reel of videos from Dock and Rock that weekend of just me hanging out with the people who this song is about.
Yes.
Right? I put together what I called an iPhone reel music video.
Okay.
And I haven't really promoted it as much because it's kind of more of an experiment. And I just put it out, and it was just a music video that was just all stuff that was filmed by my phone.
Right.
That whole weekend.
Yeah, I love it.
And so what I'm going to do is with the song Foundation is I'm going to basically what I have an idea of is I'm going to make a music video, but I was thinking like here they got that big screen there.
Yeah.
You have a reel.
Have that going in the background. Yes.
Of the 2 years at that house that we lived at, because that's what that song is about, is that 2 years.
Yes.
And have that reel going in the background.
B-roll
of the music.
Stuff. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I really like that idea.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the kind of thing where that kind of content recorded at really great quality.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. And you mix it in a nice ratio of 4-to-1 or something, get 4 covers that people know and then get an original in there.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's a proven blueprint. I mean, it's a model that works. It's reliable.
Oh, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you still all the while not selling out.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad this is here because now that I know that the studio is back here, I mean, honestly, this is a huge resource.
Yeah. And I think it'd be fun to let's track this journey too. That would be a fun thing because this, I think we can continue to evolve the path kind of thing and watch it all unfold. But you think about that, this will be fun looking back 5 years from now when you're getting your CMA.
Me and Colby talk about this all the time because I said, look, because sometimes we just get discouraged and we're like this didn't happen or that didn't happen. It's like I look at him and I said, and I say this all the time, I'm like, look, one day we're gonna be looking back saying these are the good old days. We wish we were back here.
That's it. I'm gonna live that into existence, that on the CMA stage, you get your CMA, and then I'd like to thank Dean Jackson for believing in it right from the beginning, setting up
Dean
the vision.
Jackson told me to get kicked off stage.
That's right, exactly. Oh, that's so funny. I can't wait. I mean, this is, I think it's exciting.
Yeah, it's got a trajectory, and I think it's there. And like I said, to have this resource back here that I know about now, I've got ideas rolling through my head right now. I'm all about it. I
love it. Can we play in editing here? Can I get them to play us out with your? Yeah. We'll attach your YouTube video here, play it, and send people over to your channel. Where can people indicate that they're part of the Beer Buyer Club? So currently it's on the American Owned Apparel YouTube, but we are currently switching it over to a new YouTube channel, which is going to be called the Beer Buyers Club. That will happen this week. And if you want to check out my music stuff, which I'm going to have more content coming soon, Ryan Joyce Music. And if you want to listen to just the music, there's Ryan Joyce Topic on YouTube, which is made by the distributor. Okay. I love it. And is there on Spotify or? Yep. Spotify, Apple Music. All of it. All of them. Ryan Joyce Music. All right. I love it. This has been fun. I'm glad you were able to come. I kind of like having people locally that we can bring right in here. Well, so next time I got to bring you a coffee. There we go. Perfect. From the new coffee shop. Awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah.
All right, here we go now. There it is. There's that sound. Go ahead and keep on playing, boys. Let's do this one more time before we start. I gotta eat a beer before we start this. Hold on. All right, let's do this. Well, this world's been pulling me, and taught a mention to me. Yeah, when I was a kid, I never knew what this life was all about. And then my friend bought me a beer, and I quickly began to figure it out. It's about looking up, looking down, looking left, looking right, looking all kinds of places, and going to the parties just because the beer is free. Because that's the kind of life I wanna live. Because the best friends in life are the ones who buy the beer. Oh yeah, now I'm feeling it. Yep, there he is, right through the front door. Like clockwork. It's when a guy walks in with a 12-pack and he's heading straight for me. He's like Santa Claus with his hand stretched out and a coat highlight. Well, people ask me all the time, man, is that all that you like? I say no, but it's what I prefer because I only drink champagne. And when you value yourself, you'll find there's more to life than just Bud Light. It's about looking up, looking down, looking left, looking right, looking all kinds of places, and going to the parties just because the beer is free. Because that's the kind of life I wanna live. Because the best friends in life are the ones who buy the beer. Now let me tell you all a little something. Whenever you have that friend that shows up with all the beer and he's ready to share, you keep that guy around, because that's the kind of guy we all should strive to be. Right there. And now I'm looking up, looking down, looking left, looking right, looking all kinds of places, down every aisle in every liquor and grocery store. Because that's the kind of guy I want to be. The ones who buy the beer. What do you mean? Doesn't matter that I'm broke. I got friends for that. That's right. Yeah, go ahead and hand me that one. No, not the blue one. Yeah, the gold right there.